Hello and welcome to Knife Delights from the observation deck once again. And hey, we have an audience today. My old pal Danner showed up. Dan, say hello.
Hi folks.
Oh, if you've watched my videos from a year or 2 years ago, Danner and I used to meet out here quite a bit and shoot some videos together. And well, with my new job and everything, our schedules don't really match up. But by chance, we happen to meet out here today. So today I'm doing an open tag response to our great friend Ray from North Star Knife Reviews, and he wanted us to kind of recreate the very first video that I ever did, or that a channel ever did. My first video was on an array of buck knives, and it was an open tag response to Tobias Gibson. And let's see, the title of his was, "Are there knives that you collect just for collecting?" And boy, I was all over that because, you know, I don't use most of my knives. I just collect them just for historical purposes. But I shot that video. I was in my little room in my desk. I got a quilt and I threw it over the desk, and boy, I was nervous and everything else trying to shoot that video, and Knife Delights hadn't even started yet. And I put it up under my personal name, personal account, and that was in like May of 2021, I believe. And then I got a little bit of a response to that, and a few months went by, and then by October of 2021 I decided, you know what, let's start Knife Delights. So that's just a little bit of a history, but enough of that, let's get to the knives. Well, I don't have the original setting because I'm doing this out on the observation deck, but I am going to be using the same knives that I used in that first video. And again, I'll put a link to that video down in the description box if you want to see a real amateur. Boy, was that a real amateur video. But anyway, let's get started. So, for collecting purposes, this is probably the first buck fixed blade that I got. The Buck 102. And by the way, all of these knives you've seen before here on the channel. And I've done a lot of individual reviews and a lot of reviews on these fixed blades. But so this one is from the late 90s, Cocobolo Buck 102 Woodsman. It's got the brass guard and pommel to it. Just a beautiful knife, and I fell in love with the 102 pattern the first time I picked this one up. And it came in this reddish brownish sheath, and you can see the old Buck logo from the 1990s. It's got that triangle with Buck across it, and it's like a mountain there. So yeah, this is the first 102 that I ever bought. Then I did pick this one up. This is a newer version, and it is in the green micarta, although it looks brown. This has the 420 HC steel with the Boss heat treatment. See, this one here is S35 VN. Again, with the micarta handle, aluminum pommel and guard. Love my 102s. Then we go back in time just a little bit. And I've got this old two-liner buck. And as you can see, the way they used to stamp them, they stamped them upside down. You have to turn it around to read it. Buck USA, and there's no model number on it. And this is just one of the standard old buck knives with the black phenolic. You got brown micarta spacers here. So yeah. And let's see. Let's do a pommel comparison. As you can see, the pommels were a little bit different on these older models too. Yeah. So okay, so I started off with 3 Buck 102s, and I showed the sheaths for each one of them. Let's just set those aside and let me get set up for the next one. Well, next we're going to jump up in size just a little bit. We're going to go from the 102 to the 105. And I had, whoop, that's the 118. Whoops, get them right, Tom. 117. Oh! I only showed one 105, I guess. It was this one here. That's right, I hadn't bought my other 105s yet. So this one, again, Cocobolo, brass pommel and guard. There it is. Buck 105 Pathfinder. What a gorgeous knife it is. And the 105 is a fantastic knife too. Kind of a, is that a trail point or a clip point? I can't remember what they call that. And of course the standard buck sheath here. Set that aside. Then I think I went to the 118 Personal. That's definitely a trailing point there. This is the Buck 118 Personal, again with a standard black phenolic, the brown micarta spacers, aluminum pommel and guard. Well, look at that wicked blade. These are no longer in production, but you can find them on eBay quite frequently. That's just kind of the difference in size there. Yep. 105 and the 118. And next in line is, I think I did the 119 next. It seems to be, for a lot of people, the 119 is kind of the gold standard to or the standard by which to judge all of Buck's other fixed blade knives. Just a classic knife. Got that nice, well, it's called a blood groove, but really it's called a fuller. It's not a blood groove. Nice clip point, nice and big. Just a nice, well, it's a skinning knife, but it's a nice all-around general purpose knife, outdoor knife. And this one happens to be the 75th anniversary edition. 1942 to 2017. And I got this in Walmart of all places, and I didn't even know it was an anniversary special. I just saw a 119 in the showcase there, and I says I need to get a 119 because I didn't have one yet. And they dug around under the counter there and pulled out a box, and lo and behold, it was an anniversary edition. So kind of lucked out on that one. So there's the 119. And then we have this wonderful little 117. And as you can see, it's kind of a mate to the 119. It's got a fuller in it also. So here's the size difference between these two. Now some people prefer a 117. It's a little smaller, a little easier to handle. But, you know, both of these are just good, as I say, all-purpose camp knives and outdoor knives. You can see the difference in the blade stock there. 119 is much, much thicker. Okay, those were my collectibles. And before I go on to my honorable mention, because I know I did have one of those, I remember I did this. I did size comparison. So there's the 119, and there's the 117. Again, a good standard to go by. Of course, this is the 105. And then we have the, oh, this is the 118 Personal. And I'll dig out one of these 102s again here. And we've got the 102. That just kind of gives you a good comparison. But I did have one honorable mention, because I did have one knife at that time that I didn't buy it to collect, but I bought it to use. And I used to wear this knife on my ankle for many years. I wore it a lot. You can tell there's wear and tear on here. This is this nice Buck 616 Boot Ops Pro, I think is what they called it. Nice little boot knife. And this is in 154 cm. Just a great knife. They don't make these anymore. I've seen them on eBay, but boy, they're wanting an arm and a leg for these anymore. But it comes in this nice, I don't know, Kydex Light plastic sheath here, and then you can strap it around your ankle. And it is nice and heavy duty. It's not cheap. It's well built. It's held up because, like I said, I wore this a whole lot. And then there is a leather piece that this can mount to, and the leather piece has a clip on it. If you want to clip it in your boot, or if you want to clip it on your belt, you can do that also. But so this was not just for collecting. This one was for use. Well, I hope you like this walk down memory lane. It was sure fun to try to recreate this video. So Ray, thanks once again for a wonderful open tag. And I just want to tell everybody to have a very delightful day.